Welcome to Slow Unpacking, where we unpack magic but take our sweet time with it. Modern Horizons, another kind of pack without a playing tie to it, but with very cool cards that definitely deserve a spotlight. Whoosh whoosh. Ephemerate by Bastien L. Deharme. This card will be reprinted in a really cool form for Strixhaven, but let's not spoil that fun yet. This lion will phase out of existence for a little bit. If you have a cat deck, I will force you to play this in your deck from now on. Look at the regality of this lion. It does not even mind that it is disappearing. It is still looking over its lands, and I imagine that it will still be doing so when it phases back in. We could also see this in a different light, where ephemeral is a word that means short-lived as well. This lion might accept its fate, or maybe this is a planeswalking lion that is just used to phasing out for a little bit. Reckless Charge by Steve Argyle. Here is a card that comes as close to being audible as possible. You can hear the wow from this orc as it is jumping through an explosion in his reckless charge against you. His teeth are bare and the scar above his furrowed brows are very visible and angry, like even his nose is angry. Can you imagine a bomb exploding almost in your face and then you survive, but then an orc jumps through it like this? Fountain of Ichor by Grzegorz Rotkowski. Flavor? Sun Empire priests thought they were digging a well. What they tapped was something different entirely. This is a fountain that the dinosaur-loving Sun Empire from Ixalan has found. Sludge turned into dinosaurs was not in the story of the set itself, but it does make you think. Was there a civilization even before the Sun Empire or its early states? And were they building dinosaur robots, or is this just an accident? It does seem strange that the Sun Empire has all these mechanical traps and that they have no artificers. Maybe these traps had always been there, and they were built by this previous civilization too. Or it might be a coincidence that Ixalan has sludge that can make statues come alive, and now the Sun Empire has robot dinosaurs. I repeat, robot dinosaurs. Mother Bear by Winona Nelson. Flavor? Even without her, the cubs will always know their mother's love. Right here, I think this card is beautiful because of its idea. Mother bears often stand for the love they give their cubs. They can even get aggressive when trying to protect them, as would you for your own cubs. Like with all animals, I like to look at MTG Field Guide's Instagram. It says the following about the naming of grizzly bears. The American explorers Lewis and Clark bestowed the common name grizzly on the large brown bears they encountered living in the western half of the continent. They spelled the word grizzly, and it is actually unclear whether they intended to mean grizzly as in gruesome, or grizzly as in light-tipped hairs. In the end, history has chosen both. The common name grizzly refers to the unique blonde-tipped hairs that give the subspecies an almost glossy appearance. And the Latin name for the subspecies Ursus arctic horribilis pays homage to its fearsome reputation. End quote. Once again, the link to MTG Field Guide is in the description. And again, as well, this is a great card with great mechanical and emotional tie-ins. Thornado by Volkan Baga. Flavor? Every bough, branch and bramble lashed out in defense of the forest. Thornado, get it? What a great pun in green. It's a tornado with thorns, for if you did not understand it yet. These thorns work together and something makes them into a tornado to kill a flying creature. It cannot hurt ground creatures as the thorns only work in the air. Yeah, green can be a little weird sometimes. Enduring Sliver by Josh Haas. Flavor? Time has ground mountains to sand, but the slivers ever remain. We can see the dust that used to be a mountain and the sliver slithering through it. Its Outlast ability here is a notation towards minerals that get ground by the pressure of, for example, sand, into more fine minerals. So this sliver takes over the ability of sand in order to grow stronger and longer. Slivers are the perfect form of evolution, as they can be like anything, even sand. Putrid Goblin by Winona Nelson. Flavor? Too stupid to survive, too dumb to die. I was starting to think that red was the only color with humor. Black does as well now, and of course it's a joke about that. This goblin is too stupid to die. Did you know that that was possible? Let's think about this for a moment. Because it is possible that a creature does not need a lot of brain power to move and breathe, but that does not make it able to survive longer. Still, persistence is a possibility, and the goblin might not feel pain at all, or at least will not understand it. I honestly don't know if it's possible to be too stupid to die. I do want to touch on the fact that this is the second art from Winona, and it is once again a very real vibe that this card aims to be. Yet, Winona gives it character by showing us the face of dumbness. Faerie Seer by Colin Boyer. Flavor: the patterns of crossing ripples reveal the future to those who know how to read them. This fairy would be a great companion for Alrond from last week. He saw the future through his visions of swirls and symbols, so he would love to analyze these guys too. The art shows us patterns of a few circles, so please tell me what is in my future now. I cannot see it personally. Perhaps it is just that when you eat the right things, you can see anything in these mesmerizing wings, and these fairies only appear to people who eat the right things. Universal Automaton by Ben Mahler. Flavor: within minutes, the strange device was indistinguishable from the other upon my workbench. By Tokasia Journal Entry. Oh, very interesting. This can be a good merfolk, cat or sliver, and it is an artifact already. This is perfect to use in any tribal deck if you cannot find enough of your creature. More interesting is that Tokasia is an actual character that has been the mentor of both Ursa and Misha. She was also killed by them when she said she would keep their stones. Look at the art too. The robot is splashing with purple as it turns into something else. This robot is an early example of a robot being able to live before all the Phyrexian stuff. Headless Specter by Anastasia Ovchinnikove. Flavor: no tongue to chant, yet the forsaken hymn still emanates from its body. This is one of the cards that seems so horrible that it is almost impossible to digest. Figuratively speaking, of course. So let us imagine this one together. This is a knight without a head. His mount is a huge version of a bat-lice-like insectoid that can fly. The knight is pulling the reins of this monstrosity and it is screeching in defiance. Then, even without a head, you can hear the song of this knight, and that is what frightens you the most. Now, Anastasia is great with making characters and the vibe, from powerful to elegant to screeching pain and back to horror again. Be afraid of what she can make. Secluded Steppe by Noah Bradley. Secluded Steppe is an early land as it is one of the uncommons. This is a great land for cycling decks, and in Commander it can be great too, as far as I know. Especially for you guys that like to cut lands. Just swap the planes out for this. Now for the art, we see the sun in a different light here. Another morning light, but an actual one where we see the sun. We can also find the lion from Ephemerate here in this field if you look long enough. Oh no, it's gone again. An exercise that I do often is imagining walking here and then suddenly you feel the world secluded. The sun and the way, two far stretching lands, make us feel very alone. There's not even a farmhouse anywhere. We might be stuck in these for a while. Abominable Treefolk by Jonas de Ro. A rather obvious nod to the Abominable Snowman, especially as it grows in strength from the amount of snowlands you have. This one even roots the creature in place for a turn or two. Now this is also the first snow treefolk that exists, and there are no planes that have treefolk and a lot of snow. And I do think that this creature thrives on snowy lands, as it has snow powers. So that means that there might be treefolk on Kaldheim, or this tree might be from a plane that we do not know yet. Maybe a plane where trees only grow on ice, for example. Battle Screech by Anastasia Ovchinnikove. Flavor: all sounds harmonize with the worldsoul. This card was first released in Judgment, where it was a card without the flavor. But I think this card's flavor fits very well. The screeches of all creatures harmonize with the soul of the plains. We see Celestia-like dancers, or at least the people that are very much aligned with the world soul, who seem to be celebrating so that a portal opens towards the red-tinted air, signifying a battlefield. These birds then have to fight for the peace of these dancers, poor guys. One of them is even looking at us, telling us to be in harmony with our own world soul. So yeah, take care for your Mother Earth, guys. Winds of Abandon by Noah Bradley. Here we see an amazing board wipe for white. I love that white has been getting stronger slowly but surely, and this card shows the direction it might go in. The art shows us a few people with different builds, armor and general vibe getting lost into the beautiful battles and winds of abandon. Imagine fading out of existence forever. Try that. Snow-Covered Island by Titus Lunter. I cannot make the same jokes as before because this is... Oh wait, I can. This is a snowland and we can see how it is different. There's snow on it, duh. But where it is the same is... Wait, no. This is an Iceland, not an island. This is different. The swirls and swooshes in the otherwise snowy ice make for a very weird composition that looks like it will topple over if it would be floating. So there's probably a lot of ice on the water for this tower. Watch out, Titanic. This one is dangerous. Mox Tantalite by Ryan Pancoast. Another art piece that only comes out whenever you buy a more expensive pack. As I said before, you can definitely use this and play with it. Just know that you will have to know the rules of it by heart. Otherwise it will be annoying. The art though is wonderful. The statue looks old and mystical as the globe is floating from nothing. We can only wonder what keeps it afloat. This is a mana rock for any color that you play for free. Whoa. Then you have to wait 3 turns before you get it. Why? No one knows. How? No one knows. It's a mystery and it looks cool. I looked Tantalite up as a mineral and I do not understand anything about it. Perfect. Elemental Token by Winona Nelson. This might be one of the most famous tokens ever. I believe I have seen this little guy over 1,000 times. Elementals are creatures shaped by their element, of course. This one is shaped by fire, hence its chaotic nature. Also, another card by Winona. Her art seems rather serious in these 3 cards. It also seems realistic. The bear, of course, but the goblin could exist, and this one is one of the most realistic lava elementals I have seen, as I do believe the energy of it is so correct. Hey, welcome to the end of my video. That has no other purpose than to not shock you with sudden silence. I will transition you back into silence slowly. Good luck with it.